Hi, I'm Dr. Jackie Raphael from Curtin University.
Hi, I'm Jenish Pandya. I'm the host of the Key to Authority podcast, where I help speakers and coaches grow their authority online.
So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the role of marketing within celebrity culture. So we were talking earlier a little bit about the Oscars and Leonardo DiCaprio's speech. So do you want to share your thoughts on how he uses marketing within his branding as both an environmentalist and as an A-list actor?
Absolutely. In the first place, congratulations, Leo, if you're watching this. A good long time he hasn't won the Oscars, and now he's won, and now every single person is talking about it. Even though you haven't watched the Oscars or you don't follow Leo, everyone knows that he has won the Oscars and for the best actor, and there's a lot of buzz happening. And then the next buzz happening is his speech, where he spent majority of time talking about the environment and global warming and making use of that podium to spread that word. Yeah. So he's been a pro-environmentalist for quite a while. He's also the UN rep for that. So what he does, he uses his power as an actor, as a person of influence to promote that. And that's what, in terms of marketing, happens as well. So if that's his brand, so that's part of people identify him with that. So he uses that, be it his social media, be it places, and be it even movies. He will, if he has to choose from a pro-environmental movie or a non-environmental movie, he'll go with that. So that's how he treats himself, and that's what his brand is. So yeah, that's how he goes about marketing himself. Yeah.
I watched an interview a while ago where the interviewer asked him about the authenticity in his environmental image.
Yeah.
And basically said, you own multiple houses, you fly on a private jet and all these things that kind of contradict his environmental image.
Yeah.
He didn't answer the question. Instead, his publicist jumped in and put an end to that interview. But what do you think about that authenticity in his image? Do you think that impacts?
Yeah, and that's the thing. So we, as people, we connect with, we're used to that streamline, that's that person. So as myself, if I've watched his videos talking to him about environment and things like that, then I would think he's an environmental person. He would probably drive a Prius or something like that. He would live in a moderate house, have solar panels on his roof and things. Now when I see that kind of thing, it's a disconnect. Is that Leo? So now, in terms of him, he's an actor. He has made his millions of dollars. Obviously, he's going to spend that. But that might have come before he became that environmental person. So it depends on the time what we're judging. At the moment, we're looking from him becoming an environmentalist.
Yeah, I guess their argument was that he was, I can't remember the number of flights that he had in that year. So they were talking about current time, which I guess is the issue in the contradicting of his brand. A lot of fans were commenting on the video. Some were defending him, saying that one had nothing to do with the other. He's still, doing great work for the environment. Yeah. And others said, he deserves to spend his money as he wants. He works hard. So it's interesting that these fans come to his rescue to try to defend him, while others were very critical. It also created a huge debate about whether climate change is real or not real. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, and that's the thing in terms of that authenticity. Now, if Leo would have owned up to it, or if his publicist would have allowed, it would be good for that to be cleared out, because he would have either gone, yes, I do own that, and this is my reason for it. Yeah. And that mostly helps people put it to peace or put it to bed. Whereas now, to me, that seems a little bit inauthentic, because he should have done that, but I'm not his publicist, so I don't get his millions. So, but from my side, his authenticity is what you stand for, what you mean, and what you own up to. If I'm a person who helps people out, and if I see a beggar or a person on the side, then I just drive past. That's not authentic. There's a disconnect there with me as well. So, authenticity-wise, he should have done it, and part of branding is that authentic communication.
Sure. So, are there any other celebrities that you think haven't been authentic in terms of how they've promoted certain charities or activism of some sort?
So, in terms of what that question comes to mind in Bollywood side of things, I'm not sure how familiar you are, but there was big chaos similar to that, where Amir Khan is one of the top celebrities in India, and he ran a whole TV series about how to helping people and raising awareness about issues around India and things like that. And then he was getting paid around millions of rupees or whatever. But so that's what people were saying is, well, one hand he's running a series where he's trying to help the poor and things like that. Shouldn't he be donating that money? And so it's like, where do you go? Where do you draw the line? And now that person to me is like, well, if I earn my money, I get to spend it as I want. But he might be doing the charity stuff on the side, which we don't know. And sometimes part of that brand or that authenticity, people don't want to be known.
Yeah, that's true.
So they might have done that. They don't want to sell that, but to other people, because then they look like, oh, they're doing it for
the media. Obviously, I think that's a tough one, because if they add the media attention, then it helps to draw perhaps more people to care about the issue. So they're actually sort of doing more good. But then there is this argument that it's inauthentic because they're doing it for the publicity. So it's kind of a lose-lose for them, I think.
And it's also like how the media makes it to be. Because in India, we have, I don't know, 10, 20, 24 news hour channels. So they need to make a story of even the tiny bits. So how that gets portrayed from the media, like you can look at the dark side or the white side where it is and how they promote it. Because for them, they have to sell their TV ratings, their newspaper readerships, or their blog articles, or online views. So they'll make it as interesting or as curiosity-driven that such and such celebrity did this. Watch this to find out more.
It's true.
So,
I don't know if you saw the Golden Globes, but Lady Gaga passed Leonardo DiCaprio and nudged him, and then his reaction became newsworthy, apparently. So it was trending online. It got a lot of media attention. There was articles about it all over the internet, and it was obviously on television and so forth. So something as simple as one celebrity nudging another as they walked past has created this media attention, and it is strange, and that would cause more hype than a celebrity doing good, or maybe something more important than anything to a celebrity is issues of poverty or issues around the world that we deal with. So
and that's the culture, or like that's how we live in kind of thing. Because the other day on Facebook I was watching again the Oscars. I don't remember the lady's name, but she won, I think, for Frozen. She was not dolled up. She wasn't wearing like the full dress or anything, and she was just wearing her normal clothes, like normal, like it's very normal, like it's not
just everyday
clothing, and she wears pants and vest and stuff like that. So people, the video that showed up was the guys in the row she was walking past. There were no one was clapping, even though she had won an award. I think she was the person behind Frozen. She had done the direction or the artistry, graphic side of things. And it's just that part that was shown. So it's just, again, drawing attention to that feminism side of things, or because she's just wearing and not dolled up and pretty, people are not clapping. So all that kind of, you could get a lot of meaning from that video of that 10, 20 seconds. And it's just how it's put. And then now how that spreads across social media is a whole different game.
Speaking of the Oscars, actually, it was a very interesting discussion about black people apparently not being nominated for films, and there was a huge uproar about it before the Oscars and during as well. And Chris Rock, who hosted the event, all of his jokes were pretty much related to issues of race, and it was quite entertaining, but also drawing attention to the issue. And I felt that a lot of people that went up to do speeches were relating it back to issues of either race or gender, or making some political comment. So it's interesting that celebrities do use this a short amount of time where they win an award to make a speech, just as DiCaprio did, relating to climate change.
And that's again coming back to that brand side of things, because that's what they stand for, or that's what that links in. Also in that sense, like the host set that scene. So he's, in terms of setting that scene. So as humans, we like to tie in things together. So if it's subconsciously we're triggered to it. So if he's talking about race, then the next person talks about race, then it's bringing to us in that sense. Then we start to link towards that. So if the person next to me is he's pro environment and stuff, and let's say I love saving water or getting water through the people who can't get it.
Yeah.
That's the emotions that bring it up.
Yeah.
Then I start talking about it.
Yeah.
I start sharing that. So one charity creates that, and then it's just a follow-on effect and follow-on effect, and the whole night is pretty much kind of that.
Yeah, which I guess in some ways is a good way to do it, because it's drawing more attention to political issues or global issues rather than just the films themselves, which, you know, also deserve some accolade, but it is nice to use that opportunity to do more than that.
Yeah, and that's like coming back, using the power to do good, because they've reached a stage where getting money is good for them, but now they can influence the issues that need attention, like people dying because of malaria or disease or lack of water or poverty and things like that, and obviously the environment and global warming. So it is real. But so to me, that's really good, and that's what happens in the business industries, or where the business leaders, they start using their power to influence other things, big decisions for good and stuff as well, and also connecting with the people who are starting out. So they take them on as their mentees or mentors, help them out, and if you want to win big jobs, you need to know the right people. Yeah. So it's the same thing. It's a very mixed, like if you look at from a different angle, like the celebrity culture, where let's say someone endorses, like, for example, Rihanna's, when she did the Super Bowl. Yeah. So she mentioned in her song one of the chicken places or something like that. Right. Yeah. So, and then social media went buzz, and this restaurant didn't know that they were mentioned, and their sales started increasing.
Oh, wow.
So, like, the restaurant didn't pay Rihanna or anything, but just one word in terms of the restaurant's name created that kind of a buzz. Yeah. So it's just that because the audience knows, likes, and trusts the celebrities, they know, like, and trust what they're associated with. Yeah. So it's a really great, interesting topic to dive into. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because if it was at least perceived as being unplanned, then that adds authenticity to it as well, versus something that is a very clear endorsement. So, which is something that social media is a huge help with, because celebrities are able to tweet a message about a particular place, or even just having a photo of them holding a Starbucks cup works as an endorsement, and it's without us knowing whether they're being paid for it or whether it's authentic, that they actually just enjoy drinking that coffee. Or
and that's the thing in terms of endorsement. Sometimes you don't get paid, you don't pay and you still get, because that business has done that work, or they've provided a great service, that as even a normal person you would be tweeting out to your friends and telling that, well, I'm not paid to do this, but I'm happy to do it because I enjoyed having a dinner with my friend at that restaurant, go check it out. And it's, again, celebrities are still human beings. They're still people like us, just a little bit more paid and more money and more famous. But in that sense, it's the same for them. So if they shout out, you'll see that relation go through, like, in terms of, it's like, oh, Rihanna shouted out. And that was the thing with that company or that restaurant. They didn't react to that till like 6-7 hours later. Okay. So they didn't know what the hell was going on and what the buzz was about. So from business side, someone's like, well, that's poor marketing by the business, because they didn't captivate that, or they didn't capture that and work on it, because if they had a few more interactions, it would have got a bit more buzz. And would have worked in both people's favor, because Rihanna was launching a new song at the Super Bowl and all that. So, all the social media thing is really interesting, how you can endorse it. So take Instagram, for example, because you have celebrities, just Instagram celebrities, like not the movie celebrities who have hundreds of thousands of followers, and they will start tweeting out images for companies. So you can pay them for images to be posted on their account, saying shout out to Jackie on her best work, and you could buy that thing probably like for $10, and all those followers now start following you, and it's incredible.
Well, I once tweeted about a band, and unexpectedly got retweeted by the band, and all of a sudden all the fans of that band started to follow me. So I just kept getting all these alerts that there was these new followers. So that was quite a surprising experience as someone that was sort of still new to Twitter at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it certainly does work, even if it's unintentional.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Now it depends. Like going back to authenticity, are you trying to put that effort to get the media's attention through becoming a company to the celebrity and stuff, or it's just unintentional, and then that game of being your true self is what you kind of filter through. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for your time.
No worries. Thanks, Jackie. Love the chat and love the work you're doing, especially from the marketing side of things. So yeah,